Hello dear students, welcome back to our class. Today we are going to explain the first derivative, part 5, and the topic is the first derivative of trigonometric functions. Do you remember our objectives? 8 objectives. Today we are going to focus on number 8, derivative of trigonometric functions, as a last topic and last video, maybe inshallah. Derivative of trigonometric functions, there are 3 basic rules. You have to study hard, you have to keep them in your mind. First rule, derivative sine x equals cosine x. Sine switch to be cosine. And second rule, derivative cosine x equals negative sine x. Attention, cosine, negative sine. Cosine, negative sine. Rule number 3, derivative tan x equals 6 square x. Tan x equals 6 square x. Again, sine, cosine. Sine, cosine. Cosine, negative sine. Cosine, negative sine. And tan, 6 square x. Tan, derivative tan x is 6 square x. Let's solve some problems. Find the derivative of each of the following. Number 1, y equal 5x minus 8 sine x. To evaluate the derivative, you have 2 terms. Between them there is a minus sign and subtraction sign. So I'm going to evaluate the first term derivative and then second term derivative. As we studied, derivative of 5x only 5, and negative 8 sine x L constant as it is, but L sign switch to be cosine. 8 sine x equal negative 8 cosine x. Example number 2, y equal cosine x plus 3x squared. The derivative of first term, yes, the cosine switch to be negative sine x. And derivative 3x squared, I'm going to bring down the power to be a coefficient. So you must to multiply it by L3, it's going to be 6. And reduce the power by 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. You put derivative of second term 6x only. Exercise number 3. I have y equal tan x plus 4x squared minus 2x. As I said in the last slide, derivative tan 6 squared x. Derivative 4x squared, bring down the power to be a coefficient, so I'm going to multiply it by 4 equal 8x. Reduce the power by 1, 2 minus 1 is 1, 8x power 1. Derivative negative 2x, just negative 2. الباور هنا 1, 1 times the negative 2, it's negative 2. And the x power 1 minus 1, x power 0, which is equal to 1. And it's not important to write multiply by 1. Another problem, find the derivative of y equal 5 cosine x minus 8 sine x at x equal pi over 2. As last slide, I'm going to evaluate the derivative of each term alone, and after the derivative, I'm going to replace the x by pi over 2. Solution. 5 cosine x. 5 is a constant, but cosine x, I'm going to switch it to be negative sine x. And sine x switch to be cosine x. Again, 5 cosine x, the derivative is negative 5 sine x. Cosine switch to be negative sine. second term negative 8 sine, just switch the sign to be cosine and the negative 8 as it is. Then at x equal pi over 2, substitute the x by pi over 2. So I'm going to replace the x by over 2, and pi over 2 means 90 because it pi equivalent to 180. And pi over 2 على calculator, sine pi over 2 is 1, cosine pi over 2 is 0. You have to write negative 5 multiply 1 between two brackets and 8 multiply 0 between another two brackets, and the final answer is negative 5. Now another example, y equal 10 tan x, find y dash at x equal pi over 4. That exercise you have to do by your own, and after watching the video write down your answers in comment below because you will get 5 marks bonus. Thank you grade 11, good luck inshallah. Wish you to get grade A in